Kaimedar was born in a small village in the overworld. Like many other adventurers, he spent his days building and mining for diamonds to craft the best gear possible. But over time, he began to develop a fascination with the more mystical parts of the world, enchanting potions and redstone. To him, these were like magic, and he spent countless hours studying them and experimenting with different techniques. His love for the magic arts soon turned into an obsession, and he began to seek out more knowledge wherever he could find it. It wasn't long before he heard whispers of a strange realm beyond the overworld, a place of fire and darkness known as the Nether. Driven by his curiosity and thirst for knowledge, he built a portal and stepped through, eager to see what secrets the Nether held. But he was unprepared for the dangers that awaited him there. As soon as he stepped through the portal, a hail of fireballs rained down on him, destroying the portal and leaving him stranded in the Nether. For years, Kaimedar wandered the hellish landscape of the Nether, living in old ruins and collecting long-lost gear and items left by generations of others. But the isolation and loneliness of the Nether soon began to take its toll on his mind. He became increasingly unstable and began to see things that weren't there. The only companions he had were the zombie piglins, a strange race of undead pigmen who wielded swords of gold. Over time, Kaimedar learned to communicate with them, and they became his only friends in this strange, twisted world. Years passed, and Kaimedar became accustomed to the harsh conditions of the Nether, traveling millions of blocks through the soul sand valleys and the red netherrack, unable to rest or sleep for years on end. But one day he stumbled upon something new. A portal, but not just a portal. It was damaged. The obsidian was leaking a strange purple oozy substance. His curiosity got the better of him as he reached out to touch this strange ooze. And as soon as his fingers made contact, he felt a searing pain shooting through his body. The purple ooze seeped into his pixelated skin, creating deep fissures of glowing purple runes across his arms and chest. Beneath the pain was an unknown power source of energy, unlike anything he had ever felt before. Kaimedar could feel the power coursing through his veins, and he knew at that moment he could use this to return home. Using obsidian he found in his travels, he repaired the damaged portal frame and touched it with his newfound power, immediately illuminating it and creating a portal back home. He took a breath and stepped through, his arms still crying out in pain from the strange runes etched into them. But when he emerged on the other side, he found that everything had changed. Years had passed, his friends were gone, and the landscape was unrecognizable. Determined to learn what happened in his absence, he set out to explore the strange new world, but he was not the same person he was before. The isolation and madness of the Nether has taken its toll on him, and he was now a changed man, haunted by the visions of this strange, crying purple ooze, and he was consumed by an insatiable hunger for more knowledge about the magic of the world. Kaimedar knew that he could not give up. He had already come so far and had overcome so many challenges. He was determined to find out what had happened in the overworld during his absence, and to uncover the secrets of the magic that had changed him forever. As he journeyed deeper into the heart of the overworld, he began to realize that the changes he had witnessed were not limited to the landscape. There was a darkness lurking just beneath the surface, and he could feel it growing stronger with each passing day. Despite the many obstacles in his path, he pressed on, driven by his insatiable curiosity and his desires to uncover the truth. And in the end, his efforts were rewarded. A wandering trader came by, shared his secrets, and he discovered a secret that had been hidden away for centuries, a power that could change the course of history and alter the very fabric of reality itself. With this knowledge in hand, Kaimedar knew that his journey was far from over. There were still countless mysteries to unravel, and he was determined to uncover them all. He would never stop seeking knowledge and pushing the boundaries of magic, for that was his destiny as a true adventurer and a seeker of truth. Journal entry, day 170. I'm not sure what has changed, but it has been 170 days since I escaped the Nether, and the days feel so much faster than I last remember. I made contact with a number of villages along my travel, hoping to find someone who could fill me in on what year it is. But it seems like the society I left behind has gone backwards. I finally found a scholar and cleric who had some knowledge of the past written away in an old tome, and what he told me shocked me to my core. We could find no connections from the world I left behind to this one. it was like I ended up somewhere completely new and foreign. The people seemed to be similar, the landscape was changed, but we couldn't find any mention of anything I knew. The scholar told me to seek out the old temples and ruins across the world for answers. They were rumored to hold long-lost forgotten history of the world from the older civilizations. While I planned on this, I had more pressing matters to attend to. The etched runic lines in my arms began to cause problems the longer I stayed in the overworld. While I slept, they would drip small amounts on the floor, converting it into this material which the locals call crying obsidian. I've decided to call this obsidian sickness. While it doesn't seem to spread any further on my body, it also sickens the land when too much concentrates in one spot. I've decided while I assist the villages to build new infrastructure with roads and housing, I will also begin to plan out a new research center to study this obsidian sickness, so I can one day stop it from causing more harm to the world, and possibly myself. I wandered back to the Dark Birch Tavern that day in disbelief. Everything I knew was not here. All of my friends and family were gone. I was alone in a strange world and felt out of place. Journal entry, day 401. It's been hundreds of days since I left the Nether, and it seems to finally be getting a bit easier to acclimate to the overworld once again. I recently finished construction on my research center after weeks of gathering materials, and today is the day I'm moving out of the Dark Birch Tavern. I gave the key to Garrett and wished him luck on keeping the tavern going as I head out to find not only where I am, but how to cure myself. I left Garrett with specific instructions to not enter the basement under any circumstance until I find a way to cleanse the corner where I slept. I spent time with a master mason near a site I picked out for a pit mine so we could come up with a plan to extract as much ore from the area as we can. He will be spending time on site for the next few weeks gathering samples and getting a blueprint made for a proper extraction mining facility. During my weeks here, I have noticed some of the natural materials are susceptible to the obsidian sickness, but two materials I have found have no effect to it: the ores of the overworld and the endstone. The oily residue of the sickness doesn't seem to be able to penetrate the ores, but iron is the easiest and most readily available to obtain, and I have made my floors of endstone to prevent the spread. I have decided that I will take the rest of the iron I have and construct a clean room containment cell inside the left lower wing of the laboratory to stop the spreading of the obsidian sickness. I may also sleep in there as well, not to risk it taking over the new facility like it did in the tavern. As I lay a road to my new laboratory from the nearby town, I hear the voices again, the ones from my nightmare that keep replaying in my dreams like a broken record. Is there something out there guiding me on this journey? Or is the sickness playing tricks on me and corrupting my mind? Journal entry, day 501. Progress on finding anything useful about the obsidian sickness has been difficult and stressful. I have tried many experiments, but I am no closer to finding an answer than when I started. I decided to start where I should have, in the beginning, and went to examine a few of the ruined portals around the overworld. I have gathered that the crying obsidian has the same charged particle effects as a working portal, but it seems to be highly concentrated into an oily substance and can no longer hold the portal open. I have come up with 2 working theories. One, it's either an overuse of the portal causing a corruption of the obsidian, or 2, a violent explosion or charge caused it, possibly a lightning strike. I will have to do some tests soon on both theories to see if either one holds any merit. Once I solve how it was created, I can then work further on figuring out why it has attached itself to me and try to prevent it spreading further. In the meantime, I will direct my research towards the skulk, as it seems to share some similarities with the obsidian sickness. I believe the skulk is a microorganism similar to a fungus. It is triggered by vibrations of sound frequencies, and it can distinguish what type of sound it is. It also reacts to any living entity that dies around it, causing it to spread further and corrupt the natural landscape in the skulk. With this info, I believe I know how to combat the loud shrieking parts of the skulk I encountered last time. It will soon be time to venture into the ancient city to find its secrets. But first I must prepare for any dangers I may face there, and come prepared for anything. Journal entry, day 609. After my journey to the ancient city, I'm left with far more questions now, and have acquired an unknown book I cannot read. The characters of this book seem to shift rapidly on the page, and it makes me believe the book may be magically sealed, or it could be cursed. Finding a way to break this code is far beyond my skill currently, so for now I'm going to focus on building more infrastructure around the area. Some of the wandering traders who have come by have begun to ask questions about the area since they don't know what its name is. I haven't given much thought of naming the area, so I will have to put some time into it. For now, they have been referring to it as the New Community and passing word along to other travelers. Because of this, the Dark Birch Tavern has gained quite a few new guests and a couple residents who have taken a liking to the area. A few of them have been asking to move into the nearby village, so I will make that my next priority after completing the factory for Axel, who has recruited a few more masons, along with toolsmiths, weaponsmiths, and armorers. I have also made a breakthrough in the studying of the obsidian sickness. While putting away the hundreds of books I collected from the Stronghold Library, I found an old book which has a small paragraph referencing the crying obsidian. It has been around since the Piglin invasion from over 1,000 years ago. The book says, and I quote, "It is obsidian which has been used for nether transportation too much, resulting in its crying appearance, and in turn shatters the portal's connection to the nether. Knowing now how it's formed, I'm hopeful that I can find a way to prevent it from spreading further across the land. I will now begin to dedicate the entire containment cell to the study of the crying obsidian, and continue to read more of this old text I discover about the war that took place here." Journal entry, day 788. It's been 3 days since Axel's death near the factory. After scouring the entire area, I thought he was killed by the local monsters, but after investigating the tent, I made a terrible discovery. Below his bed was signs of the obsidian sickness. I'm not sure how he contracted it, but now I'm worried about the safety of all the local villagers. I fear that the containment at the Birch Tavern Inn also might be to blame for his death, so I'll be heading there soon to clear it out the best I can, regardless of how it needs to be done. As for a cure, I feel no closer once again to solving the issue, but I may need to move on to a more drastic approach. I have tried all the known potions, foods, special enchantments in the world, but nothing has worked. So, as a last-ditch attempt, I will combine all of them into one, a super potion of sorts. It will either cure me, or it will kill me, but this may be how it has to go. I will begin preparations and start collecting the massive amounts of ingredients I will need to make this work, and concoct a furious cocktail of absolutely everything in existence. A bit nervous on this one. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, okay. Calisthenics. Ooh, up, down, 1, 2. Okay. Oh. Wish me luck. Oh, here we go. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Oh, God. What? Where am I? Hello?
Kaimedar. I have been waiting for you.
Wait, who said that?